The Cabinet Minister Shane Jones has had a ticking off from the Prime Minister after he called for the chair of Air New Zealand to be sacked. The New Zealand First MP put Air New Zealand's board on notice this morning amid an escalating political row over the national carrier's decision to axe some regional routes. But Jacinda Ardern says suggesting anyone from the board should go is a step too far. And Shane Jones joins us now. Evening, Mr Jones. What exactly did the Prime Minister say to you?
Oh no, she's made it very clear, and obviously I agree with her that whilst my views are very pronounced and I'm a proven champion for the provinces, I'm not a political greenhorn. The reality is I have no authority whatsoever to effect a change of personnel at the level of the board, but in my view I've successfully raised the issue. My whole phone system, my office is clogged with tales of woe about the degraded services in the provinces from our national carrier.
So you're now happy for Tony Carter to stay on as chair?
I'm not sure when the next opportunity arises for shareholders to change the membership of Air New Zealand board. I think someone advised me today it was in September. But look, I acknowledge that those decisions will be mediated through Treasury. They will be under the leadership of the Minister of Finance. But the Minister of Finance will be under absolutely no illusion as to the strength of feeling both in the provinces and the ability that I've shown to mobilise opinion about something that is egregiously wrong.
But you're now happy for Air New Zealand's chair, Tony Carter, to stay?
Yeah, look, this is never a personal thing against any individual, although my language is characteristically colourful and robust. But I lead with my chin, and I expect to be thumped back once or thrice. I've said what I've said about the board. I'm actually imagining some of them will be there tomorrow night when I go to Obama's speech, an invitee from the bank, a bank that I've had a long relationship with, the Westpac Bank.
But nonetheless, it is an Air New Zealand do. You know, why are you still going? You've been criticising them all week.
But I am a proud, full-blooded, provincial, 58-year-old Dalmatian Maori from Kaitaia, and no one is going to deter me from going to a do where they are a 52% owned entity that have contributed considerable amounts of money towards the Obama visit. I'm a graduate of an American university. I'm a former chair of the New Zealand Parliamentary American Friendship Group. There's nothing hypocritical about it at all, and I'm particularly grateful to Westpac. It's the first time I've ever received anything like this from them, given the large amount of money I've paid in mortgage fees over the years.
But, you know, we talk a lot about optics these days, and are you not worried about how it would look to those regional towns that you say you're championing, that you're now cozying up to the corporate Taniwha?
No, I don't think it's fair to say just because that I'm born and bred in Awanui, north of Kaitaia, and I have the blood of the provinces coursing through my veins, that I can't stand up and say I'm one of the few lads from Awanui that won a fellowship, went away and got a degree from Harvard University, and it came back home and served my people. I'm not a second-class citizen to the rarefied occupants of the Air New Zealand board.
Nevertheless, I guess it could be a slightly awkward dinner. You know, you've been picking over all the faults of the host all week, and you know you're going to come face to face with them. Are you expecting a few awkward moments?
Well, I spent 3 years as a diplomat in the Pacific. One wouldn't think so after the last several days, but I've got various arrows in my quiver. And I'm not going there to be personally disruptive. I think that the senior people at Air New Zealand know that I'm a robust politician. My party is New Zealand First, and the name New Zealand in the term Air New Zealand needs to be first and foremost in the minds of the board, in particular the provinces. They've heard me Oh, I think that I'll celebrate my Croatian ancestry by drinking gallons of red wine with them.
And given the Prime Minister's comments today about you going a little bit too far with the calls for the resignation, is tomorrow night, is the dinner a chance to apologise to the chair, Tony Carter, or to Christopher Luxton?
Oh, look, both of them are tough, robust businessmen. I do my job for love, whilst there's a little bit of love, I'm sure, in the demeanour of the CEO. The reality is both of them work for money, and they will say that Air New Zealand it's a $5 billion enterprise. We should be obviously proud that we have a solvent airline. I've always said all along, let it be an airline that is innovative, imaginative and capable of meeting the needs of all of the provinces. And if there's any awkwardness tomorrow, I can assure you, in the midst of such an amazing international visitor, the former President of the United States of America, Obama, my presence will be akin to an insect arriving amongst a swarm of other members of the animal kingdom.
Mr. Jones, do you get free Koru Club membership?
Yes, I have been ever since I was a businessman. I have been a Koru member for a long, long time. But I must say I don't actually use it a great deal because I'm often running late to catch all my flights.
Is it something you might relinquish in protest now, given your comments this week?
No, when I had a stoush with Countdown, I wasn't allowed to go shopping. So people have advised me today, because of my stoush with Air New Zealand, perhaps I should spend more time driving and less time flying.
And I'll just ask you again, perhaps not at the dinner tomorrow, but are you going to apologise to the chair of Air New Zealand, Tony Carter?
Well, these are not matters that need to be catastrophised. I mean, Tony Carter is a robust figure. I mean, the man, for goodness sake, is a member of the Fletcher's Building Board. And the Fletcher's Building Board's been through its level of woe. I've lost count, about $1 billion of red ink, so he's no stranger to tough situations.
Look, thank you very much for your time tonight. Thank you. That is the Regional Economic Development Minister, Shane Jones. Well, we've spoken to Air Chatham's today, and it says its routes from Auckland to Whakatane and Auckland to Whanganui are only running at 60 to 70% capacity. So I guess the question is, and we welcome your feedback, why can you blame Air New Zealand for pulling out?